Do you often find you get into a terrible muddle when you're dancing? You know what you want to do, but you're kind of like tripping over yourself, or you want to do put together particular moves and they're just not happening, or you end up on the wrong foot or going the wrong direction, and you know, it's just all well, it's almost always one particular thing. I can't tell you how often this particular problem is caused by the solution I am going to give you in this video. All great dancers know this, but they don't always teach it. So watch on. This one is all about feet. The reason that you're probably getting, or almost always, and I see this over and over again when I watch dancers, they're just not aware of what's happening in their feet, with their feet. And the other thing is that they're not prepared for their next move, yeah? They're so busy thinking about what they're doing now, they're not thinking about the next thing that is going to happen and getting themselves prepared, okay? And I'm going to show you very, very simply. I'm just going to use a very simple traveling move. I'm going to use, maybe I'll use two, yeah? Two different moves to show you. But first of all, what I want you to do is I want you to stand up and I just want you to try this little thing out for me, okay? So just get up wherever you are and I want you to try something out because this kind of shows you what the problem may well be. I want you to stand up and I want you to put all your weight on this leg, yeah? So this is actually my left leg. And then I want you to, or whichever, just put all your weight on this leg. And then I want you to take a step with this leg over there. That way. You can't do it. Put your weight on this leg, on this foot. Take a step over there. No problem. That is the absolute fundamentals of your dancing, of all dance forms. And it's not very often taught in belly dance. It's where your weight is, which foot your weight is on, where the weight is, whatever you're doing, whenever you're moving around, whenever you're dancing, all dancers need to know exactly where their weight is, yeah? And I'm going to show you the typical thing that happens. Now, let's do, for example, a traveling camel to one side, yeah? So we're going to go. Now, first of all, I want to tell you, this is going to amaze you. But you have 2 feet. And most traveling moves are made up of 2 bits. Okay? So let's take a camel. A camel goes 1, 2, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. That is a full camel. Let's do a walking circle. That's the other move I'm going to use. We're going 1 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot. Yeah? Okay? So, almost, as I say, if we're traveling, we're using both our feet. Yeah? So, let's say we are doing our camel. We're traveling in this direction with our camel. So we go, and then we want to do, let's say we want to go 4 that way, 4 that way. If we do 4 full camels, we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah? And I'm ending up on my back foot. I literally cannot camel the other way unless I do some kind of weird sort of like crossing camel. I cannot do exactly the same thing going back the other way because I'm on the wrong foot, yeah? Because what I've done is I've just completed that camel. Does that make sense? Yeah? So I'm going 1, 2, da, da, 1, 2, 1, 2. I've done my full camels and I've ended up with my weight back here. And because my weight's back here, I now can't go there, I have to do something else, yeah? If I'm aware of that, and the way that I dance, all that really, sort of experienced dancers dance, we know that we need to basically have the weight on this foot in order to go back the other way. Yeah? So, I need to have my weight. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to have my weight on this foot in order to go back the other way. 2, 3, and 4. So I mustn't complete that camel. Or more important, a different way of saying it is I need to be aware of the fact that I've got to have my weight on this foot in order to be able to camel back the other way. Yeah? The easiest way to do something like that is to think of the fact that your final bit of your 4th camel, if you're going to do 4 camels, don't finish it off. Go 1 camel, 2 camels, 3 camels, half a camel, touch. Yeah? Because you're just touching here, you've still got your weight on this foot, and we're going back. 1, 2, 3, 4, touch. 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 1, 2. Then everything flows beautifully. Yeah? But to do that, you have to be aware, you have to know, and you have to count as well, actually. You have to know that you're just about to come to the end of this one, and you have to be prepared so that you can change feet. I'll do it with a walking circle. 1, together, step, together, step, together, step, together. Now, I've now got the weight naturally on this foot because that's what happens. If I have to have my weight here in order to do that first step for my circle. The weight goes back to this one. I take that step, the weight has to go back to this one in order for me to do that step. The weight's here. Yeah? So if I want to do a walking circle back the other way, or a camel back the other way, or anything, I'm stuck. Yes? Can you see the way that my weight starts on this side? I go 1, together. So the weight's on this foot. It now has to be on this foot for this one to move. Step, together, step. Now if I complete this circle, my weight's here, I cannot go that way without doing something that crosses across like this. Yeah? So I can't, for example, do a camel, yeah? Or a walking circle or anything. Yeah? I have to do something different. Like, I don't know, a crossing circle or a twist or something like that. So knowing where your feet, where that weight is absolutely key. Just get used to thinking about where your, 2 things. Get used to thinking about where your weight is. Actually put your head, don't go off it with the fairies thinking about your breakfast or whatever. It wouldn't be breakfast with this, not for belly dancing. Don't allow your head going off thinking about, I don't know, what you're doing tomorrow or whatever. Think about what's happening with your feet. The weight's here and here, here, here. We're getting to the end of this is our 4th one. We know we need to change, so just touch here and we can go back and back. Let's do this. And back and 1. Can you see how I just touch my foot? At the end, I touch it instead of putting it down. And that then allows me to go back the other way. And here, touch. 1 and 2. So you have to think, you have to be aware of where you are in your sequence of circles. You've got to count those circles. You have to know this is your 4th one. And you have to know that you don't complete it. 1 and 2. And 3 and 4 touch. Camel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Change. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That is the fundamentals of dancing. It's knowing what's happening with your feet. It's dancing from what we call, as dancers, professional dancers, we say we dance from the feet up. Everything starts with the feet. In belly dance, we tend to think too much about the hips, we forget what's going on with the feet. And I see so many belly dancers get horribly muddled. I see messy, muddy dancing, and I don't want you to be one of those messy, muddy dancers. Know what's going on, and it will really polish up your dancing. Yeah, know where your weight is, know what's happening with your feet. Keep aware of when you want to change direction, you need to give yourself, your brain needs to say, I've got to just touch that foot, or I would need to make sure that my weight is here if I want to go back there. So if you enjoyed that, make sure you subscribe, all that old stuff. Have a look down at the links that I've got below to my online school. Have a look at my website, that's down below as well. And I'll see you next time.